present too much stuff because, for number one, I don't feel that y'all want to be here all night. And number two is about the only thing that I can say about myself is that I was born and raised, and it's on a brochure that I passed out everywhere. I was born in Ripley County and raised on a farm in southwest of Naylor. I farmed there all my life. Married to a lady by the name of Linda Martin for 49 years. That's right. I didn't write that down. Got by the worst part. And we had one daughter, Stacy. She's 45 years old. She's a principal at Naylor School. She's married to Mark Roach, and he's a science teacher. We have one granddaughter, which is Abby Roach. She's 18, and she just graduated high school and is enrolled in Columbia in the veterinary school. We have a grandson, Dawson, who's 14, going on 27. You know how that goes with teenagers. They act like they're a lot older. They think they're a lot older than they really are, but anyway. But, you know, to say things that I have done, there's a list of them. All the things that I have done probably didn't make the most of friends. When you handle people's finances and huge budgets came about, you know, when I was with USDA, you know, the money that was appropriated for Ripley County was like $10 million. About all you done is sit and more or less insulted people as to why their portion wasn't as big as somebody else's portion. And I, being a roll cropper, I thought plenty of that because it probably never seemed fair to pastured cattle people that roll croppers should be getting the amount of money they did. But anyway, that goes to say that didn't make all people happy. In another aspect, when I was on the Ozark Board for 21 years, we had the same problem with, we had $62 million to dole out every year to see that it was managed right. And things seemed to work pretty good, but most of that was people got too big an electric bill. I myself did. I farmed, so had a lot of electric pumps. You know, when you get a $25,000 electric bill, you get kind of excited. I know business people expect stuff like that, but it didn't make all friends. And again, I'm going to get right to the point, if I can, that a lot of these boards, school boards, about everybody knows how that goes. County Road District was on that for 20-some years. We did work with FEMA through a flood problem at one time, and I did most of the footwork for that. Folks have got to realize FEMA is not the answer. They're not going to give you anything that you don't deserve, and they're going to make you go jump through so many hoops that you'll probably almost give up on it. But then again, you know, as far as having the want to be a politician, I don't. But I do have the want to continue to live and see my family live and thrive in Ripley County. And folks, there's only one way. This county has to do that through teamwork. And as I've heard this saying from my wife, there's no I in team. We got to do this together as citizens and fellow workers. And if you're going up here, if you came here, or if you're going to the polls, hopefully go to the polls on the 14th, 7th, whoa. I'm trying to put it off a little bit. But I hope that you're don't have a goal to elect one man, one person to solve Ripley County's problems, because it's impossible. It's going to take everybody throughout the county, and there's so many different things come up. I have I have different feelings than you do on some items, some things, we'll just have to work stuff like that out if I was to become that. And with that, I just don't wanna go on, trying to boast myself up. I would rather ask anyone, is it proper to ask if they wanna ask questions?
Now, I'm gonna ask you questions.
Oh, you're gonna ask me a question, well,
These are the 3 questions that we got from the membership. The first one is, what is your business management experience, and how will that carry over and benefit the position of presiding commissioner?
well, as, some people in the crowd can verify that, there's no bankers here, are they? We, can verify that, you know, in the aspect of saying I've been a farming 2,500, 3,000 acres in the last few years, the last years of our farming, that we handled, our budget was $2.5 million. That big with the things that I had just stated, you know, there's huge sums of money came across the table of many of these things I did. The amount's not the key. The budget is something that you gotta live by. It's just all the money you got coming in. We can't go out here and answer everybody's aspirations, everybody's wants with the funds we got coming in. So therefore, I feel that, I would be qualified in working with people to try to keep within the budget that the money we have is the money we spend.
Okay. Question number 2. If elected, how do you intend to balance your current career and the position of presiding commissioner?
Well, that's about the most simple thing to answer for me, because I did retire from farming 4 years ago. I really I have no other job. I do have no other job. Be the presiding commissioner will be my job, and I'll have all the time to spend with it, more so than the working man will.
Okay, and question number 3. Pre-election, what role did you play in local government, organizations, and community involvement, and how will the things you learned serving in those roles prepare or educate you for the position of presiding commissioner?
I think I almost jumped the gun on you. I answered things that you was gonna ask me later. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
But anyway, no, being on the other side of the fence, you might say, go back to that road district thing for 20 years. We tried to manage that on our own. We could not manage, we didn't take in enough taxes to pay so we had to go to the county court. I worked real close with the past county court, and I'm sure this one here would be just as understanding as we was. They understood our situation. When we finally conceded to the fact that we couldn't operate with that amount of funds, we turned it over to the county. It really added a big burden on the county to take on all these little road districts. And if you want to know what would make me more qualified, would be make me more understanding. I understand now that there was only a certain amount of money they could do with, and we were expecting miracles out of them. So we give it to you, we can have all good gravel, not paved, but good roads, and that didn't work out, and I see why now. It gave me a new understanding, dealing with stuff like that, and then watching some failures. I've watched some agriculture failures, whether it be co-ops, elevators, and stuff like that. They extend themselves too far. If you extend yourself into a situation where you're living on hope, what could come, what might come. I know that's a farm life, but that's not the way that you should operate other people's money.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay.